Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Mars coming at you over the interwave with another StarCraft 2 cast. This one sent in to me personally, so yeah, you can do that. If you see this, you go like, hey, I want my very own games cast, then, you know, find a good one and send it to me. It's marsgaming@gmail.com. That is marsgaming@gmail.com. If you don't know how to spell Marsgaming, then perhaps you should sort of not full screen this video and look at the name of my channel. We have over on this side, wait, my little pony. All right, I see what you did there. It's NickWinters playing Protoss with crossbows and stuff. His opponent is a very wise fellow indeed when it comes to warfare. He is directly related to Sun Tzu with a Z, because I'm assuming the one with S was already taken, and Machiavelli. So not just good on his strategic point of view, he's not bad when it comes to political intrigue as well, playing Terran. Now, from what I know from the person that sent this in, and I'm not going to tell you who it is because people tend to send stuff which they win, generally. Both of these are in silver/gold league, so we're not going to get the crispest of build orders. Instead, you may find some minerals floating here and some, gas timings not quite, bidding precisely there, and building your wall on the low ground against not Zerg over here. As mentioned, NickWinters now has enough money for his expansion, but chooses not to do so. Oh, it looks like he's going to get double teamed. Bye-bye probe. Building instead a cybernetics core here. Now he's got 500 minerals. What is he doing with that? Well, he's not putting down an expansion. So let this be a lesson to you. If you're a low league player, always try to be spending your money, because that money you have right there could be doing something. Right now, it's something that a low league player should think of as well. Well, actually, you generally float enough money to do that. If you send your probe out here and then build it there, those 400 minerals don't get reserved for this purpose. Oh, look at that timing by Machiavelli. He got to 410 and he put that down. Very nice. Then you can do that. So because that 400 minerals, as you walk all the way here, which isn't the biggest deal in the world, do get reserved, and then you can't do something like, I don't know, build a probe. If you didn't have enough money at that point to build a probe, then you can cancel that nexus while you do walk all the way that way. And by the time, because you spend 50, so you go 50 down, and by the time you've gotten up here, you have mined 50. Oh, are you going to get that marine? Yes, you are. And just in time to complete that transformation. Very nice. Then you're going to earn those 50 minerals and still plant the nexus down at exactly the same time. Alright, so we've got NickWinters shading on in, and his opponent not really responding yet, but there aren't any workers here, so let's see how we do with 2 adepts against 3 marines, and that's going to not go especially well if NickWinters chooses to just walk away. Because if you're just walking away, that means you're not firing at the opponent. If you're not firing at the opponent, then that means that they don't die. Now, 3 Marines he should have been able to handle, especially if he were to engage in stutter step micro. The attack speed of Adepts is slightly slow. It's 1.61 until we get to the upgrade that he has, which NickWinters may be thinking of, whereas his opponent shoots quite a bit faster. Now, DPS isn't horribly different between these two. I mean, they are different, but not horribly so. But if you were to engage in stutter step micro, so only shooting when that cooldown is actually true and walking the rest of the way, that means these guys shoot once and then they do 6 damage, and then they have to catch up to their opponent, whereas you shoot once and you do 22 damage. Then you have to wait longer till you can shoot again, but both of you are walking, so your opponent's not shooting you either, because your range is 4. Your opponent's range is, well, I think their range is 5, so technically they have a little bit more. But walking that extra time, you do actually get more out of your adepts than you do out of marines. Right. As that has come on down, we have a factory over on this side. We've got another factory on this side, and we have a starport coming down, which makes me wonder if Machiavelli has a very specific idea in mind with lots of tanks, as he has started his first one. Whereas in the meantime, his opponents go like, you know what, I've got a shit ton of adepts. How about I go into your main mineral line and kill everything. His opponent does raise those supply depots, but gets his adepts into a very, very good position and kills, absolutely murder rates. That is actually a verb. 16, 17 probes. Now we have a little bit of an issue with that greater range, so this guy is not actually doing anything. Does clean this up. And NickWinters should now worry about counterattack possibilities. But as this goes with StarCraft 2, these guys will have to walk all the way down here, which gives you time to warp in more units and maybe start an upgrade or two. So when this shows up, NickWinters already has 8 adepts, which you may want to arrange over here, because you can shoot when you look down, whereas your opponent can't shoot up. We have a mothership core. We do have a mothership core. Maybe get another pylon right there. So we've got Machiavelli seeing whether he can push that army supply advantage, which he suspects he has. He doesn't know this for certain, but he should be able to suspect that and see if he can push in somewhat. So he pre-seizes that siege tank quite a different distance, actually, away from the Protoss, and doesn't actually move in. He's going to be content to just sort of contain his opponent. Pre-splitting as well, very useful against Banelings, not the the most useful thing ever against Protoss, although not completely useless either. So alright, and NickWinters, who does see all of these things in front of him, is going to shade on top of that siege tank, because that siege tank has a minimum distance to do. And now we have just Adept versus Stimp Marines. Stimp Marines are going to be able to clean that up, but with now that upgrade of the Psionic Glaives. No, I was wrong. Psionic Glaives? No, fuck. What is that called? Resonating Glaives, thank you. Resonating Glaives upgrade completing just in time. He makes absolute mincemeat of Machiavelli. Takes a third on the back of this. Should now be fairly comfortable that that did reset his opponent's army count. And ooh, those are some very, very stimmed units right there. I wonder what went wrong. Double upgrades being readied for the Terran, but he doesn't actually have any of them started yet. He does have the money for it, but he's not going to start this. Put in a couple of Widow Mines, and what does our noble Terran Protoss have to deal with it? Well, he has nothing that detects. So now finally puts down that robotics facility, but if the Terran were to push with Widow Mines right now, he would have a really decent shot at just sort of leapfrogging with Widow Mines, because his opponent, unless you're unburrowing them and moving them, there really isn't much that NickWinters can do against that right now. Alright, 50 workers to 49. We've got a third base on location for one. Oh, that was that one Widow Mine shot. Only did killed one, but it did a lot of shield damage on the others, which means that those Marines can come in and sort of finish that off. And those siege tanks are going to be able to create quite a decent attack for Machiavelli. That means that there's a lot of distance. Basically, this line where, with 4 range, which these guys have, there's just this much where they get shot before they start doing any shooting. Now, sieging up again, or additionally with those Liberators, but those are a lot of very oftenly Stimp Marines, and they had very little hit points to start with. And don't just stand there. Don't stand there. Well, you moved out of the liberation zones into the tank zones, and that is it. With no army left, NickWinters, GG's out. If you enjoyed this video, press that like button. If you'd like to see more of me, subscribe.